Hello, everybody. I decided we would do something a little different today in terms of what I'm going to talk about. So, instead of comics, politics, stuff like that, I'm going to do one of my other favorite joys in life, which is poking fun at fat people who think health at every size is actually a valid argument. Because it's kind of sad, honestly. And in, probably the most predictable place in the entirety of the United States, there's a convention called FatCon. And as you can see, they just finished their convention for the year 2025. They had one last year and are already selling tickets for 2026. I have quite a few, not articles, but tabs pulled up from their page and a few other things. And I don't know if this is just like a money grift or what, but these chicks are making fucking bank off of desperation of others. But without further ado, let's just get going here. FatCon 2025 celebrates fat joy and liberation in Seattle. Over 300 attendees have gathered in Seattle for FatCon 2025, the largest, fat convention on the West Coast, celebrating fat bodies and lives over a 3-day event. Following its inaugural year in 2024, the convention returns with more than 30 hours, of workshops and panels, a marketplace tailored for fat consumers, and a fashion exhibition featuring extended size clothing. Is plus size like a bad thing to say now? Is the new saying extended size? I don't know what's worse, plus or extended. The event also includes keynote speakers who are the forefront of fat liberation. Okay, that's one thing that I never understood with the whole, we need the fat liberation movement. Dude, what are you being liberated from? A chair? Because just like, no one is holding you back. Nobody is... I don't know. I don't understand these arguments half the time. Oh no. We're already seeing the start of the trend right here. Mix pucks aplenty. It's a woman. Guys, it's a woman. I'm just, whatever. Miss Pucks Aplenty, the convention director, explained the concept of fat joy, saying fat joy is the radical idea that I can love myself at this size or any size, that I am happy and fulfilled in the body that I have. Love and joy are revolutionary acts in the face of a culture that tells us we're simultaneously too much and not enough. Girl, you're too much because you take up too much room. You're not enough because, I'm sorry, you don't contribute much to society besides playing a victim. FatCon was created to provide a safe space for the fat community to connect free from societal constraints and expectations. The organizers explained these constraints often dictate which bodies are considered beautiful or what activities fat bodies can engage in, or equate fat with illness or inability. All of you are gonna be dying before the age of 50. Probably before the age of 40, and that's really pushing it. FatCon is a convention where all fat humans are welcome to celebrate our bodies and lives. What is fat joy? Taking joy in being fat is different for every person, but for many, fat joy is simply being unapologetically ourselves in a culture that insists we should feel shameful for existing in the body we have, says Becky Wilson, the marketing director of FatCon. Okay. It's this right... Where is it? Okay. Simply being unapologetically ourselves. You see that in arguments for the LGBTQ plus IAXQZ type thing. Like, it's always the exact same argument for things that are quote-unquote unconventional or outside of the norm. It's like, if you want to argue stuff like this, at least have unique arguments here. Don't just be like, okay, here's the same playbook, just replace gay with fat, or trans with fat, or this with fat, neurodivergency with fat. No. Be creative, at least. God. Holding a convention for fat humans is not created centered around weight loss or eliminating obesity is incredibly countercultural. In its first year, FatCon 2024 attracted vitriol and hatred online as well as backlash here in Seattle. Yes, because at that point it seems like a health code violation. Or, no, not health code violation, granted the smell alone, possibly. But more so infrastructure, infrastructural damage for any building before that many people in one space. Oh my god. You know, honestly, with holding that many very large people in one building without it actually collapsing in on itself is really showing how well made the building is. Because just imagine, one of these conventions are going on, they just go to the second floor and it just collapses. It's like, what do you think is gonna happen? They're just gonna be like, oh no, it's a tragedy. Why did they exceed the body weight limit for this building? No, they're gonna say, oh, this building is dangerous. Why couldn't it hold at least like 6,000 pounds? Wait, no. No. What's 500 times 300? That's a lot. Why couldn't they hold like 4 elephants worth of weight on the second fucking floor? I'm probably being generous with that weight estimation too. The convention hotel and board of directors had to bring in additional security protection to protect attendees of the convention from aggressive media and gawkers. In addition, we are firmly in the age of GLP-1s. What the hell's that? Where every person of every size is encouraged to get onto Ozempic or Wegovy. Simply existing in a fat body shouldn't be a rebellion, but it is, Wilson added. You're not rebelling against anything. You're just being unhealthy and lazy. Oh my god. Miranda, the creator behind Softcore, a plus-size alternative clothing brand featured in the convention's marketplace, shared her perspective on fat joy. Fat joy to me is living life unapologetically in my fat body. Everything society tells me I couldn't achieve because of my size, I have achieved. I've walked in fashion shows, I paid my bills with money, I make for my plus-size brand, I'm in a long-term committed relationship with someone who loves me. These are all things that society tells us we cannot do while fat, and I love the fat life I live, she said. FatCon 2025 also hosts a sibling event at the Triple Door called a Fatlesque Fest Northwest. The 3-night burlesque show features a different cast of performers every night, with a mission to disrupt perceptions surrounding burlesque while providing an art, culture, and entertainment experience through a fat liberation and body positive lens. Okay, one, you've walked fashion shows while fat. Yeah, so that's called DEI initiatives and people feeling sorry for you. That's gonna be going away very quickly. If you've seen Arch's video about Playboy going back to form, yeah, that's changing real quick. You pay your bills with money you make from your plus-size brand. Yes, because people have nowhere else to go when they are morbidly obese. You're in a long-term committed relationship with someone who loves me. Everybody has a preference. It's not that hard of a concept to grasp. Everybody has preferences. But let's get going to the website itself. FatCon. They already have a date set for 2026. FatCon is back for 2026, January 16th to 18th in Seattle, Washington. The biggest fat convention on the North Coast is celebrating our 3rd year, and we want you to be a part of it. FatCon has hours of programming, amazing keynote speakers, a fashion show, a marketplace, and more. The whole event is geared towards generating fat joy and building a fat community. You absolutely don't want to miss out on the action. Yeah, I'd rather miss out on it. Ugh. But I decided to look over at their FAQs. You already know what FatCon is. How big is FatCon? Very. So they sell about 500 tickets. That is a lot of people, including attendees, vendors, volunteers, and staff. Who are the organizers? FatCon is produced by Puckduction, an arts and culture organization led by Miss Puxaplenty and teams of directors. You can learn about them, the directors here. When is FatCon? What are the hours of FatCon? Honestly, this it's so weird. The hours are very short. 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. I don't go to conventions that often, but that seems like a very short window of time to do anything. Let's see. Okay. Now the tickets for FatCon. I will look at that in a minute. No, that's the Fat Liberation Front. There we go. This is the ticket prices for FatCon of 2026. You can get a general admission early bird special for $185. But don't forget, you still have to pay taxes, which is about another $20 in processing fees that are about $13. You can pay it forward and $200. Or you could get a VIP plus hotel for the early bird special, which is $1,200 plus tax and fees. And then VIP early bird for $600. Like, okay, why is it so expensive? I have seen larger conventions have better prices, because that is insane. It's like, unless they have to do some very specific, what was the word? Not pandering, but adjustments to hotels and stuff just to fit everybody. I don't know why it's so, I don't know why it's so expensive. But on top of tickets, you can be a donor. You can be a legacy donor. FatCon is still in its infancy as an event, but you know how important spaces like FatCon are for spreading fat joy. Become a FatCon legacy donor today. So don't forget, guys, if you really got some money burning in that pocket of yours, you can donate to FatCon. Be a part of our legacy. We are asking you to take the next step in ensuring FatCon becomes not just a Pacific Northwest event, but a foundation stone supporting fat liberation for our community around the world. You want to have the opportunity to become a FatCon legacy donor? Legacy donors receive access to the FatCon board of directors and keynote speakers in a way that no other attendee can experience. More importantly, legacy donors become critical building blocks in our counterculture movement. With 3 donation levels, you can choose the level that fits your charity budget. Each donation level gets you a few perks to help show our community how much FatCon values you. Payment plan options are available. And remember, your donation is made to a 51c3 nonprofit organization. That means your donation is tax exempt and matchable by your employer. Your donation will be made to Shunpike, whatever this tax ID is, a Seattle-based organization that fiscally sponsors Puckduction and FatCon. Now, got 3 tiers here. Silver. A silver level legacy donor ribbon attached to your VIP badge. The official FatCon 2025 pin. A legacy donor FatCon t-shirt and hoodie prior to the con. Your name listed on our website among donors. An invitation to our exclusive meet and greet with some of the FatCon 2025 keynote speakers and special guests. The legacy donor only opportunity to purchase a single lifetime admission to all FatCon conventions for $250. That is a minimum of $6,000. For the gold, it's a minimum of $8,000. And for platinum, $10,000 minimum. And I really hope it stays in Seattle, Washington, or like doesn't spread anywhere outwards. I don't know, it's rather concerning, honestly. Now, for the team who is behind FatCon. As you can see, we see a little bit of a trend on who exactly is pushing towards fat liberation. Miss Puxaplenty, con director. This roguish radical is always ready to ride behind the scenes or on stage, appearing in and producing burlesque shows locally and around the U.S. Pux is the founder and co-producer behind What the Funk, an all BIPOC burlesque festival, and Fatlesque Fest in Northwest. Produced through Puckduction. Puck is also a sex and queer theory educator and a sex worker activist. Next one is Lori Collins. Lori Collins is an anime and fantasy illustrator. She specializes in vibrant colors and really crazy impossible hair. The artist behind What the Funk is What the Funk's iconic fat babe mascot Aphrodite. Oh no. Local burlesque performers and boudoir models alike. Lori is dedicated to providing that representation matters. All bodies are valid, beautiful, and deserving being artistic subjects. Just like, it's also tiring. It's like, yes, spaces for people are nice, but it doesn't have to be normalized to this extent. It's like, as you can see, there's not a single man anywhere here either. Because don't forget, the only fat bodies that matter to these people are women. Or any variety of they, them, or mixed pronouns, or whatever the fuck. Because don't forget, men don't matter. And then FatCon 2025 puts fat liberation front and center. Now in its second year, FatCon is back once again to put the fun in fat, with an extensive schedule of events centering and celebrating the fat community. Founded by laundered burlesque performer and advocate Puxaplenty, the 3-day convention is bringing together speakers, athletes, performers, and artists from around the country for workshops, performances, markets, pool parties, all with the goal to uplift fat liberation as praxis and practice. From January 31st to February 2nd, FatCon will take over the King Street Ballroom at the Embassy Suites in Pioneer Square. It's the biggest convention centering fat people in the West Coast with over 30 hours of programming. Attendees will have the chance to listen to keynote speeches from speakers like hiker and mental health advocate Andy Neal. Wow, a man. Mayor Trivinational speaker Mermaid Shay Monique. And size inclusion expert Andrea Kelly, FatCon's sibling event, also produced by Puck's production company, Puckduction, Fatlesque Fest Northwest, will happen in the evenings from January 30th to February 1st, giving con attendees something to do in both day and evening. Do I want to pull that up? I'll pull it up on the side, see if it's okay to show. The idea for FatCon came to Pucks back in 2022. As someone who straddles both the burlesque and con spaces, Pucks knew they wanted to bring together a series of activities for fat people in the region with nighttime entertainment. For years, Pucks has been an activist for queer, black, and fat artists, organizing events like What the Funk, an all BIPOC burlesque festival, and Fatlesque Fest Northwest. As a means of community building, a convention specifically celebrating fat joy and liberation seemed like a natural extension of their previous work. Over the years, the body positivity movement has kind of backed away from really uplifting the experiences of fat people and became more of a catch-all for everyone, said Pucks in a recent interview. You were noticing lots of white women doing yoga and being the hashtag body positivity. It was getting further and further from the discrimination that folks receive. And also just the rampant fat phobia that's out there. Oh my fucking god. Like, okay. Body positivity, it's like, what happened to the whole all sizes are beautiful or whatever? But nope, it's only valid until you're skinny. I need a drink for a second. Ah, delicious. It's just... I didn't know that there is enough interest out there for something like this. Granted, it's only like 300 attendees or so for this year's. And I don't know. I'm sure as we see funding for stuff like this, at least through government benefits and everything, I'm sure this will probably go away unless there's really that big of a demand. I really don't know, guys. What do you guys think, honestly? FatCon comes as the country reckons with Ozempic, Wegovy, and other semi-glutide weight loss drugs, which were originally developed for people living with diabetes and which are now being used by thousands as a quick way to lose weight. Fat and plus-size celebrities, social media influencers, and regular people have begun to shrink before our eyes in what can be seen as a pointed backlash against the body positivity or neutrality and self-acceptance. People want to live longer than 35 years old. Oh my god. People want to actually live. People want to live their life and not just wallow in misery and being like, oh, the only thing that's good about me is all the fat people that are just like, oh, you go, girl. No, toxic positivity like that is how people die. Oh my god. Events like FatCon serve as a space for fat people to remember that they aren't alone. The idea that a good body is a thin body is not true. You can be extremely healthy in a fat body, and you can be radically unhealthy in a thin body, and everything in between. You can't be extremely healthy in a fat body, especially if you're morbidly obese. I'm sorry, but that's not possible. Yes, you can be unhealthy in a thin body because that's called anorexia. Oh, look at Eugenia Cooney. Her mom still won't let her gain weight. Our society is really good at making marginalized people feel like it's all in their head. They're all alone. They're separate from, and that's not true at all. I think one of the beautiful things about FatCon is it's a chance for people to make fat friends, and it's simple as that. Why do you have to add fat into there? You can just say people can make friends. Despite the event's joy-centered nature, last year's iteration received some backlash online. My Northwest, a local conservative website, dubbed the event an incredibly dangerous and backwards movement that harms the very people it pretends to liberate. And they're right. It is harming the people that they're saying need to be quote-unquote liberated. Because all of these people are going to be in the hospital. They're going to have severe health issues in everything in the next 5 to 10 years. I have never seen a, morbidly obese 80-year-old. Have you guys seen a morbidly obese 80-year-old that's not just old person fat? That the concept of fat liberation demands that society and institutions pretend that there are no significant health consequences of obesity. Huck and their fellow FatCon organizers saw the outcry as excellent promotion. Yes, because unfortunately all publicity is good publicity, especially if you don't let it bother you. They made this event sound real sexy, they said. However, FatCon did receive a lot of hateful emails and people lashing out on social media. There was this extreme hatred for us being like, cool, we'll throw an event where we can just hang out. It was upsetting for them. The fact that we want to be together and talk about things that are of interest to us. Okay, no, that's just called hanging out and not charging people $200+ to go to a convention. I swear, it has to be about money. It has to be. FatCon will feature tons of meat. Tons. FatCon will feature tons of themed meet and greets for people to link up with fat people of different backgrounds. Pilates and yoga demos. I don't want to see fat Pilates, but I'm also morbidly curious at the same time. As well as workshops on parkour. lifting. Okay, one. I want to see fat parkour. Oh my god, that sounds fucking great. Can we just call it fatcore then? And powerlifting. Okay. There's something called, what was it called? It wasn't Fat Strong, no. But essentially, there's some powerlifters that do need to be a little, like, more hefty, but they still have muscle underneath. It's not just eating junk food. They're big, but they have a lot of muscle. Oh my god. Additionally, FatCon is also hosting a Fat Bay marketplace, featuring 12 vendors selling photography, clothing, jewelry, and other products made specifically for fat bodies, and lives, as well as a fashion exhibition showcase. It's an immersive event that Pucks hopes will serve as a launch point in the future. At the end of the day, we want people to leave the event being like, I got the phone number of one person who I can call, that I'm not gonna feel like I'm doing this all on my own, they said. It's like, okay, conventions are all good and nice to meet other people of like minds. But, again, this feels like a very big, big money grab. Let's see, are there any... Nope, there's no comments down here, boo. But no, I personally don't like things like this because it's glorifying something that is very unhealthy. Because I'm sure the vast majority of the event is probably women in wheelchairs like this. Or it's just... I don't like it. It skeeves me out a bit. It feels very predatory in a way. Ugh. Let's see. Let me see if I can find that Fat Lusk thing. Open, link in new window. I don't want to flashbang you guys. I'll pull this up. Let's see, about. Yeah, I don't want to flashbang you guys, but no, I don't like it. I really don't. Yeah, but I want to know what you guys think about this whole FatCon thing, and do you guys think it'll be around for the next like 5+ years, or do you think it's one of those things that'll shut down with it before Trump leaves office? I don't know. It's like, I know people have different things, but there's a difference between going to a place that it's like, okay, let's help each other. This is just glorifying and enabling people's bad behaviors. I don't know. But I think for now, that's all I have on this whole FatCon. But thank you for joining me for today. And I will see you guys later. Have a good one, everybody. Bye!